Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Feeling and Healing podcast. Today, I am so excited to welcome Michael Barnes. He is a speaker at Toastmasters International, and he is also a author. His recent book, The Phoenix Within, is available on Amazon. So, welcome, Michael. I'm so happy to have you here.
I'm great to be here. I really appreciate you. Between all of our scheduling issues, we've had quite a few.
Yeah. And I apologize. I wouldn't want to share in the air, but I guess I'll just share if your poor email server went down and I felt so bad. I was like, oh my gosh.
No, it was
You know?
yeah, that and this is one of those things. Plus, it was the holidays and everything
Yes,
else. I mean, yeah, enjoy the holidays. Get back to it in January, and then here we are.
exactly. Here we are. We both made it through.
Yep, we did. We actually survived the holidays. You were
We
correct.
survived. But tell me, Michael, because I know you have been on your own journey. You shared with me your amazing life story the first time we met. Could you just share with me for the listeners, what is the difference like in life between the Phoenix method and the Stoic method for those that haven't heard of these two methods when
Okay,
living life?
the Phoenix method and the Stoic method can actually work hand in hand. Now, I'm not
Okay.
saying go out and read five different books on on both subjects. It can actually be condensed down to during those bad times, during those bad days where you don't feel like getting up, where you don't really think about anything other than just survival.
Mm.
That is where the Phoenix method and the Phoenix within comes from. It's, as we say here in Oklahoma, we call it grit.
Yes.
Just getting up, doing it again, and then at the same time, when you're on your personal journey, rebuilding through the Phoenix method, you also you're going to have some resentment. You're going to have some people feel like they're being left out, and
Mm-hmm.
they may come at you. They will try to pull you back down into their circle.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just because they feel like they're being left behind, which is not entirely untrue, but you're cleaning your circle.
Yes.
You're cleaning your area. You're not going to be able to, cure the world, but you can clean up one little corner of it, and that's the current corner you're in. And so the Stoic method comes in where you just cannot allow yourself to react to that. You
Mm.
cannot allow issues that other people are going to bring up, and not only you cannot let them get to you, but you cannot let them bring you back down either because you're on your own path. You're on your own flight. The Stoic method hops on the Phoenix within and you're taking off.
Mm-hmm. And I love that you brought up because that I will share in my growth healing journey, that you have to be very, very aware of your surroundings, not only your environments, but also the people around you. Um,
Yes.
because that they say, what do they say? I think there's the quote or the saying that you are the sum of the five people you spend the most time with.
Yes.
So choose carefully.
Extremely carefully.
Yeah. Yeah, because
I
I
think
feel and oops, sorry, go ahead.
it's okay. Now, see, for the longest time, I was a people pleaser.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
And and so I was, hey, you want to talk to me? Great, we're friends now. That type thing. And this started way back in kindergarten, first grade, all the way up until about 7 or 8 years ago now. And I don't wish anyone to live that way. I mean, because I was miserable. I was
Mm-hmm.
wanting to explore. I wanted to see what was going on. And there's something else. You also have to watch out for being a big fish in a small pond.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Because if everyone's coming to you, you have to look around and see, okay, where are these people getting their ideas? Where are these people getting And where are they on their journey? Or even are they on a journey? If you're on your journey and no one else is, and they're coming to you for advice, well, that's a good thing. But where are you going to get your advice from?
Mm-hmm.
And pretty soon, your circle, you're going to go back into that circle. And this is again where the Stoic method comes out of, comes from. And you've got to rise. There's a meme way long time ago. It's hard to fly like an eagle when you're surrounded by turkeys.
That's very true. And
And
I think it's a hard, I'm sure, in your journey too. It's because, relationships and they're hard, and just in general. And then when you add a layer of your own growth and then emotion, it's not easy to I mean, I think I'm like on like the third, I would say like iteration of leveling up, where I shed every time I
yep,
get to a different level. But I can tell because it's like and it's not like, this massive, like I'm cutting you off forever, but it's just like, think people just fade away, or some people I
yeah,
actually do have to actively be like, yeah, sorry. If you can't keep up. But I love that you brought up to like big fish in a little pond, because I actually have this saying. I love this saying. It's don't make yourself a pond just because somebody can't swim in the ocean.
exactly. I love
And
that. I'm stealing that. That's going to be my next book.
okay. Well, no, all right, I'm gonna be honest, it's not my quote. I've seen it out there and I like love it because I think, the people, and you can probably attest to this on your journey, the people that want to grow, they don't want to be big fish in little ponds. The ocean
Mm-mm.
is you know, their oyster. And that if you want to be a big fish in a little pond, great. But I don't know if you've heard, like water likes movement. You know what I mean? Like if
Yes,
you think of the metaphor of water, it's like, all right, like what happens when water sits and it's stagnant? It gets, full of fungus and it gets dirty. But
uh,
when water moves,
exactly.
it stays clear. It's, cleansing. It's so that's what I think of like when I think of like my life, right? I'm like as much I know I'm not saying, you have to always be moving because sometimes that's a
No,
little overwhelming. But
it is.
in general, keep a pace, keep a rhythm, because if you stand still for too long, you might get a little too comfortable.
Yep. And that is the biggest killer of progress is being comfortable.
Yep. Kills more dreams
It's
than
a
fear.
comfort. The term I use is comfort zone.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Because if you're in that comfort zone and if you don't get, let's say you work at home. Let's use this analogy a little bit here. If you work at home, for instance, you only have to get out like once a week or something to get groceries and things like that. But then we have grocery delivery services.
Hmm.
Now you're not getting out of that apartment but once a month, if that, and that will really drain you. Now
Oh,
I
yeah.
get it. Now I get it with COVID. Yeah, there was all work from home thing. At the time, I was a truck driver, so my home
You
was the
couldn't really
truck.
work from home. Yeah.
No, yeah, they tend to frown on big servos and cameras all over the truck. And hey, yeah, I'm in Oklahoma. Why is the truck in Oregon? Yeah, but but when again, so shrinking until people are coming to visit you, but you hardly get out to visit somebody else. That is in itself is crushing.
Hmm.
Okay, so you have to get out, you have to go to work. Yes, I am one of the people that fully believes in traffic should die. I am not happy with traffic whatsoever, but I have to deal with it just so that
We
way I
all
can
do,
get to
right? It's
work.
part of life.
Exactly. No, I think traffic needs to just go away, but that's not going to happen in any type of world because yeah, I have to go to work.
Yeah,
So does everybody else.
absolutely.
So,
Yeah, and I think you bring
but
up a good point of like movement too, like like getting out of your house because you're right, like with technology, like we couldn't be having I love technology and the fact that like, you live in Oklahoma, I live in New Jersey. We couldn't be having this conversation right now if it wasn't for technology, but it also does isolate us a
Yep.
lot. And I'm a big proponent of, yes, like go out in the world, like be part of the world. Like that's why the world is there. Like, yes, the four walls of your home are wonderful, but there's so much out there that you can be experiencing.
Yep. And that's the key thing is the experiencing. You have to figure out what you like. And if you're just sitting at home all day watching TV and things of that nature, what are you actually accomplishing? What are you doing? What are you learning? What are you experiencing?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm with you on, and I will be honest with you, I'm going back to school to be a therapist as much as I'm learning so much about life, but life is your best teacher, I feel,
It is.
you know.
And one of the things I get all the time, especially with new clients, is what if I fail at this?
I
You're
say
not going to
good,
fail.
fail. Yeah,
You're not going to fail. The only time you fail is if you quit trying.
true.
That is the only time you will actually fail. Thomas Edison tried how many times to make a commercially available light bulb?
Yep.
And I remember a reporter asking him one time. Okay, I don't remember it. I've seen it written though. It might have been a movie.
Man, Michael, you look really good for
Why have you failed so many times and you keep trying? He said, I haven't failed. I just found so many ways to not do it. I just need one way to
Exactly.
work.
Exactly. I think too, and I would love your opinion on this. Like, I don't know why we have, and I will say, like, as an entrepreneur, you as an like author, anytime you create something like a book or a business, I feel like you have to just you go out in the world without you're not very risk averse. Like, I mean, I could fall flat on my face any day now, and but I'm like, I'd rather do that than fail at that than live a, I guess, conventional life, if that's what I'll call it. But like, why do you think we're so fearful of failure in our society?
Part of it is shame.
Mm,
That's part of it. People seeing you fail
yeah, that's
and they're
true.
going to judge you for it. Another part of it is a fear of the unknown. And
Mm,
again, this is where the comfort zone comes into play. If you try something for the first time, unless you get extremely lucky, it's not going to work anyway. So what do? You try it again, but you change a step
exactly.
here. You change a
Yeah.
step there. And then eventually, that's it. You're off to the races.
You make it sound so easy.
It's easy to say.
Yeah.
It's harder to practice and even
Yeah.
harder to understand that 90% of the things we fear are in our own head.
100. Yep. You took the words right out of my mouth. You're absolutely right. It's like kind of like, and we create them. It's so funny because, and you're right. I will share with you that like the unknown is scary,
Mhm.
not knowing. And I think sometimes we get too much in our crab brain, as you call it, and like we want to control everything, and we want to, and it's like no, if you just let it go and see what happens sometimes, and as you get out of your comfort zone. It's amazing what can happen.
Exactly. You discover new things, you find out things that you never knew you could do.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And sometimes you need a coach to do that. I had a business coach, and when I was first designing the business, he said, "Okay, you're going to make some one sheets,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to make some um, um, price decks. Okay, what else can I have you do? You're going to write a book. What?"
You're like outside, yeah. You're like, huh, okay.
I said, "Pardon me. I know you're Australian. I'm American, so there may be a language barrier here. You don't want to write a language book."
You're like, am I? You're speaking the same language as me?
Exactly. But 94 days later, the first one came out.
And look at you now. You have another book out now, right?
Yep. Yeah, that one I took a little bit more than 94 days. That was a
Okay.
that this second book was it took about a year to get all of the notes together, all the blogs, incorporate the Phoenix Method. And I was starting to study the Stoic method when I was wrapping the book up, and I'm like, do I want to wait another year, or should I go ahead and publish and then I'll just write another one? I can write another one. I've already proven I can write another one once,
Yeah. I
and
mean,
so
I love
now
that for you.
go from truck driver to published author.
But and see, like I love that story because like it happened, as you said, outside of your comfort zone. If you would have stayed in your lane, pun intended, you would have
Yep,
still been just driving trucks.
yeah, I would have.
Which,
And
there's
that
nothing wrong with driving trucks. That's great. We need truck
mhm,
drivers, but how life kind of guided you along this path.
exactly.
Yeah.
And that and I was rereading the my book the other day. I know that sounds so self-serving and
No.
so self-egotistical, but I had forgotten, and I'm really glad I did read it. I've forgotten how conversational it is.
Mm,
I had forgotten. I thought it was just a bunch of lists. Okay, do this, do that, and yeah, there are exercises and things that make you think about. But I read it. I'm like, this is extremely conversational. It's like someone just having a conversation and maybe giving some advice in some areas, but really, really deep down, it gets people thinking. It gets people to think outside the box, outside of the crab mentality, outside of their comfort zone.
mm.
And once people do that, look out. We're going to have a whole lot more successful people in the world.
Yeah, I would say in my life too, I've had to get out of my own way. I know
Yeah.
that sounds like so silly, but it's like I know
Nope.
like I'm the only one that's like I'm like, why are you making this hard for yourself, Danielle?
Exactly.
You
And
know?
one thing I would like to piggyback on that, because I was going to cover that next anyway, was there's this thing going around right now. And I call it self-sabotage.
Yes.
And the situation is, okay, no one like me has ever done this before. No one, hold on a minute, I got someone coming in the house.
It's okay. All good. They can come on the podcast too. I'm very welcoming.
There we go. Now, my friend Mark, he's also a business owner. He owns a computer repair facility here in Norman, Oklahoma. And so he's dealing with clients. I'm dealing with clients. We're busy. We're
Yeah,
busy
that's
people.
great.
Yeah. Um, and one thing I have noticed though about people who especially don't have any self-esteem
Mm,
or self-confidence, it's like, well, look, I tried it, I failed. Now what?
yeah.
Did you actually give it a chance?
Yeah. Yeah, it's you're right. It's sometimes we're our own worst enemies sometimes,
Yes, we are.
We're our own worst
By a long shot,
critics.
we are.
And our
Exactly.
our inner critic, that's something that I have to work on myself is
Hmm.
like I don't know why. I've had to sometimes I tell myself I'm like Danielle, like the way I talk to myself, I'm like, man, you really don't like yourself, do you? I'm you're really mean to yourself sometimes. And that's not healthy. It's I have to actively, consciously switch my narrative in my brain because I'm like, this is not a place that I want to live, And while it's great, I think to be somewhat critical of yourself or like be aware, it's when you've crossed that line to like judgment, that's when it gets like a little dangerous.
Analytical versus judgmental. Okay,
Yes, I love that.
why didn't that work? Why didn't that work? Because then, okay, again, we go back to change this, change this. Done. Now we figured it out. This is why it works. And this is
Hmm.
why it didn't work before.
Yep,
So,
absolutely.
and,
No,
and
but I
that
think
is, go ahead.
no, no, I was just gonna say, but I think you make like a great point that like you have I love that analytical to judgmental because I think it's what I'm learning too, Michael, is that this life that we're in is a big experiment. And it's just like trial and error till you kind of figure it out, but then something happens, you're like, I thought I figured it out, but then it's like, no, I didn't, you know?
Well, and there's also the option of I figured it out for the most part, but this is a strange nuance.
Yes, yes.
I mean, and again, life is not a series of put together. Um, this is how it goes: step one, step two, step
Yeah.
three.
Oh God,
It's
if we
completely it's
yeah,
completely fluid. Because
absolutely.
let's face it, if life was that way, it would be even more boring.
Yeah. I say that all the time. I think, I always feel like life has its ups and downs. And like, well, of course, like when you're in the down moments, I've been there in my own moments. It doesn't feel great. It would, yeah, like you wouldn't learn anything, you wouldn't grow, we'd be very like boring. We'd just be like, I don't know, like we wouldn't have any depth to us. I feel like, the hard times and the down times, that's where you learn the most, at least in my
Yeah,
life. Um, so, I mean, as much as I don't wish that upon myself, I know that like I have built the resiliency to get through hard things in life, and I actually like kind of like own it as like a badge of honor now. I'm like, all right, like I'm strong enough to have withstood X, Y, and Z in my life.
yeah, because that's just it. Yeah, I mean, the next challenge, whatever that may be, might be more difficult.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it wouldn't be a challenge. Now that I think about that, because if you run into something you've done before, okay, I've been here. Okay, next. Simple as that. Because that's what challenges gives us, and that is experience. Not just
Yes.
experiences, but experience. Because with that experience, you can learn how to adjust for issues that come up, for things that are unexpected. And when you have that information and that experience under your belt, there's nothing you can't do.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, I think life is one of the best teachers as I'm getting, and I'm not saying I'm old because I actually read it in a book because I'm taking a social justice and diversity class. I didn't know this, and I think this statistic is amazing, and it shows the power of your mind and mindset that people that like don't envision themselves as like old, they live 7 more years than people that like keep telling themselves like, oh, I'm old or I'm aging. Like if they have a positive outlook on aging, they live 7 more years.
Yeah,
I didn't know
I
that.
can see that. Well, what my theory on that is, and again, I am not an expert in this part whatsoever, but my theory on that would be if you think it, it's true.
Very true. Yeah.
I'm old. Okay, well, you're right. I'm enjoying this aging thing. Well, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
this and despite all the mistakes we've made in life, people have made in their lives, you can either A, hold on to that regret. I wish I hadn't done that. Or B, take the lesson from that experience, leave the emotion. That's one of the hardest things to separate because the emotion is very strong. It's very human. Don't get me
Oh,
wrong on
yeah.
that. But if you can separate the emotion from the lesson, one, you'll feel better, 100% better. Two, you'll remember the lesson. And then you can learn from it, use it. So that way, something else comes up similar. You already have the experience to deal with it, and I'm not dealing with that. No.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that. if you so I was I love and I'm sure you'll agree here. I love the saying that like life happens to like was it what is it? Life happens to you, not for you. Is that am I saying that correctly? Sorry. Doesn't sound right. No, yeah, no, life doesn't happen, excuse me. I'm sorry. I was like, wait, Danielle, that doesn't make sense. Life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you.
Yep.
So if you look at life as something that is, as you said, a learning lesson, whether it be good or bad, and take the value from that, you're never gonna like lose in life if you have that mentality.
No, that's it. Because again, we're going back to the experiences. We're going back to just
Mm,
getting out, going back to interacting with other people.
yeah,
And once you do that, you may find something you never never heard of, yet you find out you're enjoying it.
yeah,
Oh my God, we can't have that. No.
yeah,
But so getting out in general, experiencing life, don't lock yourself up in a shed somewhere, only getting out once a month for whatever or less. Get out there, enjoy the world, enjoy meeting new people, finding out who may have an idea that may help you on your path, whatever that may be.
absolutely. I love that you brought that up too because personally, this is a personal thing. I can tell the rooms that I want to be in. If people are talking about ideas, that's the room I want to stay in. But if people are talking about people or gossip, I'm like, I need to leave this room because
Exactly.
as much as like, like if you want to live there, great. But like, I want to talk about creating, about how, life and about learnings, about experiences. And I don't like people are like, and like also too, I deal with, I'm sure you too, dealing with clients and being around that
Mhm.
kind of like helping people all the time. Like I want to be around like more uplifting, subjects rather than because and no judgment. That's just not me, like
Well,
everybody has their own life and I don't judge the way people live their lives and if I don't have time to sit around and like talk about people.
unless, now there's one instance I can see be a good idea. You need, you know, what was his idea that he had the other day? Who was that?
Yeah. Yes, yes.
Something
Like,
like
oh,
that.
like, yep, yep.
Yeah,
That's a little different.
something like that. Yeah, something like that. I'm all for it. But oh, did you see what she did today? Oh, go away. I don't care.
Yeah, yeah, no, exactly. Which I think we live in a society too. I think that like that gets the better of us sometimes. Like
Yeah,
I'm sure as you
it
know, like
does.
comparing and we live in a world where like everybody's showing their lives on the internet all the time and it's like, oh,
Yep.
my life isn't like their life and it's like we're all on a different journey on this
Hmm.
earth, you know?
Yeah, we are. And that's the thing. Your journey, whatever that may be, if someone else is on the same journey, it's also okay to have different paths
Oh,
on that.
absolutely.
As
Absolutely.
but and and then when you actually talk to that person, if you do get to talk to that person, then you can find out what's worked for them and you can share what's worked for you. And
Yep,
so then all you're doing at that point is improving each other.
exactly. Exactly. But also too, I actually just was talking to a previous podcast on was on this earlier today. And it's also too, I feel like life is also like we're given all this like life advice a lot of times, but like it isn't a one size fits all. Like so like of course like general, life advice, like, but I feel that like it's so individual sometimes. Like, well, it works for Michael, it might not work for Danielle, and that's okay too,
It is.
you know?
I mean, it just goes back to what are you looking to get out of your path? What are you looking to get out of your learning experience?
Yeah. Which I will share with you. and this is just because of like the world we live in, right? And like this world of, personal development, self-growth, improving yourself. I get very, what's the nice word? Frustrated with people that don't want to grow. Um,
Yeah.
it, but I've learned, Michael, and I don't know how you feel. How do you deal with people or situations like that where people don't want to grow or change?
Well, I mean, if they're asking, if they're, oh, we have to break this up into two different segments. One, if they're my client
Well, yeah, yes,
and they
and
don't
yeah. If
want to
they're your
change,
client, it's different. Yeah, yeah. That's a little different. Yeah.
I I think the term you were looking for is impatient.
Yes, that is a good. Yeah, good
Yeah,
job.
very impatient with people who do not want to improve.
Yes.
They and then let's see, when you put it that way, we were talking earlier about water. They
Mm-hmm.
become stagnant, and what does stagnant water have in it?
Fungus and algae,
All the
and like
negatives.
dirt, and it's dirty. Yeah.
Yeah. And so now you're dealing with stagnant water. You're also dealing with stagnant people. And how I handle that is I will, listen to them and and you know, converse with them, of course, but I won't have their number.
Yeah.
I just won't. I mean, I'm 53 years old. I have more years behind me than ahead of me. Okay, and and so I don't have time for people who are stagnant. I don't
Mm.
because I
You
know the
live
feeling.
literally like you're like time's a ticking.
Yep. And when I run into a person like that, I say, okay, well, I'm really happy for you that you're you're content with where you're at. Let me know if you want to change that.
Yeah.
So 'cause that's what I'm here for. And that usually that's never gotten me a client. I'll just put it that way.
Mm. Well, I mean, yeah, I think like also too, that's not the nature of right coaching and being,
Right.
helping people. Like, and I will share with you like that. I think the people that want to be coached, like all people that come to us, right? I
Hmm.
love that like they want to change, they want to transform. Like that, I'm like, you're already like you're 90% of the way there that you want to do this. Now we just have to get you
Yep.
over that next 10%, which sounds like a little, but it's a lot. But the fact that they're already in that mindset of wanting to change is they're already there. Where yeah, I think you're right. Impatient is definitely a very accurate word for me. I think, and with people that don't want to grow, and also just in life, I feel like I'm very impatient.
No, I'm not exactly impatient in life, but I don't have much of a tolerance for like you, people who don't want to grow. Okay.
Yeah.
I think another term, it was there just a second ago. What is another term? It was just there too. Saddened.
Mm,
Because, unless you're on the top of the mountain, everything's going great, I'm not sad about that. I'm talking about people who are going through the motions every day. Oh,
yes.
look, it's 5 o'clock, time for the news. Okay. Oh, look, it's 6 o'clock, time for this. 7 o'clock, time for this. Oh, time to eat at 7:30. That
Yep.
type thing. And people
Yeah.
keep doing that and without and going through the motions every day. Oh, time to go to sleep. Oh, hey, look, I'm awake again.
Hmm.
And rinse, repeat.
Yeah, I call that as with my clients actually. I call it survival mode, and they don't even know they're
Yep,
in it. I'm like, you're just surviving, you're not living. Like
exactly.
you're managing and coping and calling it living. Because,
Exactly.
and I'm not discounting structure and routine. Those are wonderful things you to have in your life, you know.
Hmm.
Um, People that work out every day, like I admire them that of course, like having if you have children, a family, you have to have like structure in your life. But if you are just on like autopilot, is that really living?
No, it's
Yeah.
existing. Not even surviving, it's just existing.
Mm. True. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here taking up space
Yeah. How do you help people get out of that mentality if they want to?
if they want to. All
Yeah.
right. First thing is realize there's more to life than the couch.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I mean
Okay.
much more. Yeah.
Okay. First we have to get past that because a lot of people are on the couch doom scrolling on social media or streaming something on a TV or something like that. So first you have to get out. You have to
Yes.
get out in the world. It doesn't matter. You know, one thing I like to do is what's your favorite type of breakfast? And I get everything from chicken fried steak and eggs to just
Sorry. Sorry.
regular.
Yeah, I
It's okay.
apologize. I'm like, my apologies. It's actually my school calling to tell us that we have a remote, we get these alerts from our school from. So anyway, I apologize. Sorry about that.
No worries. No worries at all.
No,
You were
yeah,
patient
no.
earlier when I was waiting for Mark
No,
to
no,
come
I
through.
don't have to take it. No, I feel bad. I like if they just call us, it's a robot calling us saying, "Oh, we
Mhm.
have a delayed opening tomorrow at school," which I'm like, I don't need to like we don't you don't need to call me for that.
Yeah, yeah. You can just send me a text. I'll be good.
Yeah, exactly. We're
Um,
just good text email.
and so one thing I like to do though is I will ask, what's your favorite kind of breakfast? And they'll tell me.
Hmm.
And I'll say, just go to that restaurant. Go to that type of restaurant and sit and listen. Eat your
Yeah.
breakfast and just sit and listen. Guaranteed, there's going to be a conversation that's going to pique their interest.
Yeah.
And then, now, don't go over there like some lecherous person and say, "Hi, I like your conversation." Go home and write about it.
Mm.
Because then what's going to happen is they're going to start branching out. The little circle there, the little subject, and all of a sudden we're going to get ideas and write those down and more ideas. And it's just going to blow up into a 42-page um, web of ideas of what to do. Well, there's so many ideas now. What do I want to do? Just try one. There's
Yeah.
no rhyme or reason or order for this. Just go try something.
Yeah.
I had one client who was in that, and I didn't even know this about the person, but I said, just go breakfast and see what happens. And well, someone's talking about horses, and then they zoom their camera out, all these horse statues with figurines all over the back back wall.
Wow.
Okay, why, is there any horseback riding activities in your area? Yeah, go horseback riding.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to be riding Trigger, you know, from the Lone Ranger. But am I really showing my age now? But
No, you're good. You're good.
but it's going to be guided probably, and that's exactly the thing you want to. Well, I haven't ridden on a
Yeah.
horse in 20 years, so don't go to the rodeo.
Yeah, you don't have
Okay,
to go to that extreme. If like you like to
exactly,
drive a car, you don't have to be a race car driver. You could just get in your car and leisurely drive around your town?
exactly. That's exactly the mentality.
Yeah, yeah.
And then that horse riding exercise got that person back into biology
Yes.
because of all the foliage in the area. Oh, look at the clover. Oh, look at this tree. That's an interesting tree.
Yes.
I mean, and all of a sudden, bang! Now they're a professor.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
But that's how it's just something like that. So maybe you may not be a breakfast person, or you get up so early, most of the restaurants are closed. Fine, I guarantee there's a lunch somewhere.
Yeah. Or yes, you're just to your point too, just like get out. Like, I mean,
Yep.
I meet people everywhere. I mean, as you can imagine, I'm a very social person and I talk to people, I mean, willingly or well, unwilling. I mean, I read the room. I don't just start talking to people because, that would be a little weird. But like standing in line at the grocery store, like at CVS, Like I like, go out and like as I would think as human beings, if you look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, like love and belonging is something that we need as a human being. And that like it starts with human connection,
It does.
you know?
And if you don't have, or worse, don't desire that human connection, there's something seriously wrong. Something really deep, really, um, really um, non-functional that probably needs to be addressed.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, then we're leaning towards I don't want to get into like my therapist mode. We're leaning towards mental disorder,
Yeah,
potential
that's where that's going. I was just going to
potential
say,
depression. We're leading, and I want to be honest with you. Like there's like unfortunately I've been at times in my life depressed. Like I'll be the first one to say it's not a fun place to be.
no,
So
it's not.
yeah, but at rock bottom, the only way to go is up. That's what I like to say.
Yeah, and I
Um,
didn't, and I didn't bounce off the rock. I went more of a splat.
oh, Michael. It's okay. It's
I,
like, but as you
that,
said, like you took that you sometimes, and I like we like I literally actually it was funny. I actually like there's ice. It's snowy in New Jersey. It's winter. There was ice on the street today, and I literally fell down. I mean, wasn't a bad fall. I just kind of like slipped and tumbled a little bit on ice, but it just like was a nice reminder of just like, all right, like you just got to get up after it. Like, what am I gonna do? Sit there for the rest of the day? No, like I have things to do.
I mean, yeah, your butt's going to get cold if you sit there. You may want
Yeah,
to stand up.
yeah, exactly,
You
exactly. If I stay there,
Speaking about ice, we're actually due to get an ice storm on Friday.
oh boy.
Uh-huh. That is going to be a remote work day.
Yes, yes, yes. I guess too, I would love to pick your brain. So, as you said, you've walked a very the journey of life has brought you to so many different places. And what, I guess, like advice would you give somebody just in kind of like in general, just about life and how to, live it in the most fulfilling way possible?
First, live it.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't don't exist it.
I know. It's so, but you know what
Yep.
Michael, it's really sad, and I say this all the time that like a lot of us are just existing.
Yeah.
And I hate
And
saying that, like, but I just want to like shake people sometimes, be like, wake, like,
Mhm.
start living.
Exactly. The next thing I would suggest doing is try to first increase your circle.
Mm,
This is going to do two things. One, because if you increase your circle and you get people who are doing interesting things, you're naturally going to want to see what those are all about.
hmm.
That's going to get you moving. Okay. And then it may also shrink your circle in that the people who are watching you do this and disapprove of that particular thought process will weed themselves out.
Yeah, I found that when you're on a certain path, sometimes certain
Mhm.
certain people can't keep up.
You know,
And it's
and
nothing,
then
and it's like I will share with people, it's nothing personal. Like, like I've had to say goodbye to like people and friendships and it's not personal. It's just like for me where I sit, my growth and my development, that's the relationship I need to honor.
yeah, you have to do that to yourself first.
Yeah, because
Otherwise,
who else is gonna do it for me,
exactly.
you know?
But no, the more where I was going with that is you have to do it for yourself. Otherwise, you're going to end up being, as we discussed today, stagnant,
Mm-hmm.
depressed, and just existing.
Yep.
And you just don't want that. Go
Yeah.
have fun.
Yeah.
Whether it be just hop in the car and drive around the block, something.
Yeah.
Because you may see something on the block you hadn't seen in a long time, or something new's there that may pique your interest.
Absolutely. Yeah, get out and experience life
Hmm.
because you don't know. Like, look at your story. You were a truck driver one day, and then now you're a published author. Who would have,
Yeah.
a speaker and a published author? Who would have thought that?
And if someone, and my third suggestion for people is if someone comes to you and says, "Why don't you try this?"
Mm-hmm.
Or if you have a 250 pound bodybuilding Australian who's also a business coach says, "You're going to do this."
Who pushes you to say, "Hey, I think you should do this."
My only advantage on that was he was 10,000 miles away, so I could get a head start.
Yeah. Yeah. The distance helped you out there.
It did. Um, and if they say yeah, and that little piece of negative trash that pops in your head, I like to call head trash, says I can't do that, prove it wrong because it's going to be a whole lot easier than you think it is.
Hmm. Something that I've learned is that like being an entrepreneur is you just gotta start. Like
Yeah,
don't think about what the outcome. Don't think about like I was like I'm a struggling perfectionist, so everything that I used to do had to be like perfect. And I just had to
right.
tell myself like no, you just gotta go. Like it's okay if it's
Mhm.
not perfect. It's so like just go out there and try it. And then
Yeah,
like that's why this happened with this podcast. I didn't think that I would like I just like, oh yeah, it's something for fun. I it's probably one of the most enjoyable things that I do now. And it's
yeah,
like and I just was like, oh yeah, I'll try it out, you know?
exactly. So exactly, try it out.
Yeah.
That needs to be your branding. Try it out.
Try it out. Well, as Yoda would say, my dad would tell me because he says to me all the time, he reminds me of the Yoda quote, right? It's do or do like what is it? Do or do not, there is no try.
Correct.
So that every time I say try, he says do or do not, there is no try. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go do then. All right, you happy?
Mhm. But then what happened? You did it, and now look at you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I will say it was a process, you know what I mean? I feel like you go through like some decisions are very easy to make, right? Like what am I gonna have for dinner tonight? Like hopefully I'll make a good
Hmm.
decision of like I'll eat healthy, that's good for my body and nourishing. But some of them are hard, like the bigger ones I think are it's okay to, I mean, in my opinion, it's okay to take not a lot of time, still move, but it's okay to take some time to think about it.
Yeah. I mean, of course. I'm not saying be on the go like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
like a rabbit on steroids. No. But I mean, we don't want that. You have to
Yeah.
rest sometime. At the same time, and it's okay to have a day where you just veg. You have that, that's also
Yes.
healthy as well. Okay. I'm not working on business. I'm not working on my job. I've already got my household chores done for the week. All right. Let's find a Marvel movie and just relax. That's one of the biggest
Exactly.
things. And this is a recent development with me. I was always going,
Mm-hmm.
whether it be, Toastmasters and then my regular job and then my business. And then I was silly and created not created, but volunteered to be an area director for Toastmasters. So I'm setting up contests now, plus the work at the computer store that I'm doing. You see how I'm really,
He's
really
like,
busy?
oh, no. Oh, Michael, we're cut from the same cloth. Trust me. Like, I'm like, look at my to-do list. How can I add one more thing to this list?
Mm-mm.
I'm like, how can we fit it in there? I
Exactly.
get it.
And so, Sundays are veg days. I do laundry on Saturday, do my other
Yeah.
stuff during the week, clean up the house, obviously also on Saturday, just do a lot of really relaxing things. And then Sundays, and I want to give you a little bit of insight about me here, especially the 15th it starts February 15th. NASCAR's back.
Ah. So that's your, but I think, I think that's another, I love that you brought up that point because I say this to my clients too and to myself. Like, we are not machines. Like,
No, we're not.
we are human beings. Like, and rest, like, does not need to be earned. Like, you don't have to say, oh, I worked at my job, I did a Toastmasters event, that I did this, I did that, in order to earn your rest. Like your body and your brain need rest.
Yep. There is such thing as physical and mental overload.
Yes.
And the mental overload sneaks up on you and causes your body to feel drug out, wound down, just because of all the information and instances that's going on through your head all the time.
Hmm.
I'm telling my clients all the time, you're allowed to rest. It's
Yeah.
okay. You got up this morning, you punched today right in the mouth, and you got through it. Or sometimes you just survived because everything in the world went wrong. That's okay.
Yep.
Learn from it, go to bed, and then tomorrow rise again, and then just make sure that less happens to you than it did the previous day. So that's it. And don't dwell on it.
Yes. I like to say, what is it? Like something that like a negative experience or whatever have you. Like it's okay to process it, but I always say it's a place of reference, not of residence. Do not live
Right.
there. Like you can reference it and be like, "Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, maybe I made a mistake or I learned from that experience because of this," but don't if you live there and you was going to stay stagnant there, that's when that gets a little dangerous.
There it is. The stagnant again. We
The
already discussed,
stagnant.
yep,
Yep.
how the stagnant water is bad for you. So don't be stagnant.
Yeah.
But
And that's I think
again, don't be rabbit with steroids and always going all over the place. No, you don't have to
yeah.
do that either. It's okay to have a wind down day.
Yeah, it's a balance, right? You know what I mean?
Yes,
It's
it is.
like, and that's why I think like personally on my journey, I've found like you find your own rhythm, right? Like because
Yep.
it I was brought up like I'm a millennial and I was in that like hustle culture, like very hustle. Like don't eat, don't sleep, just hustle through it. And like that's not healthy. Like,
No.
so I've found ways to like, yeah, I might be working on a Saturday, but it's like, and first of all, I love what I do, so it's enjoyable. And second of all,
Mhm.
maybe I'll just like get a massage on a Tuesday. Like I'm my schedule is flexible that I can
Mhm.
balance that out and enjoy my life the way I want to enjoy it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Michael, this has been
Oh,
such a lovely conversation. It's so amazing talking to another like-minded individual, somebody that wants to grow and expand and truly experience life. So thank you for being on the show.
you're very welcome.
Yeah.
And look forward to having another conversation sometime.
Absolutely. And for the audience, your new book is out, The Phoenix Within is out on Amazon.
Correct.
So you can check that out there. And as usual, you can find the Feeling and Healing podcast on YouTube as well as Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Have a good one, everybody.